Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. We are going to chit chat about my fine day yesterday, a little bit about my layover today, and what ended in one of the biggest IT outages in all of history. So if you want to hear a little bit about how that's impacting me specifically as a flight attendant, then keep on watching. My name's Danielle. If you've never watched my channel, I am a flight attendant based in Denver, Colorado in the US. And we are gonna chit chat about what's going on today. So first things first, I am in beautiful Sacramento. This is my first time laying over in the near the Old Town area, and it is so cute here. So I've been able to see some cute things in a whole different side of the city, so that's been fun. How I got here, let's talk about that first. So I had 3 flights yesterday, starting in Denver. This is a 2-day pairing for me, so yesterday was the first day, and right now we are in the second day, or go home day. So yesterday we went to start our day off, Denver to Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver, Canada, back to Denver, so just a little turn, and then Denver to Sacramento, and we ended here last night and got to the hotel around 11:30 p.m. California time. So the beginning of the day, I have been doing like a caffeine cleanse, if you will, and trying not to drink caffeine. It's not going really well because I love matcha so much that I definitely drink matcha at least twice. But I will say, though, I stopped doing coffee. So for a whole week, I didn't do coffee, maybe even 2. I lost count. But I was trying not to be excessive, basically, in my caffeine consumption. So the day started off yesterday, me breaking the caffeine coffee fast. And I went to Dochi Donuts, which is a chain, if you have heard of them, in Denver, and picked up, they have a Vietnamese iced coffee. And if you know anything about that, it is one of the strongest coffees I've personally ever tried. And so we were starting this fast and whatever with a bang. So I grab my coffee, and as soon as I get it in my hand, that's when I get a call from crew scheduling. So because I'm not on reserve, I have a line or a schedule in flight attendant terms. I'm not on call. I let it go to voicemail and listen to the message when I was ready to. And so I hop in my car, listen to the message, and find out that it's an automated call saying my first flight of the day is already delayed. So this has nothing to do with the outage and stuff we're going to talk about. So it was kind of a bummer because I was already dressed and ready to go, and I was already packed, makeup done, hair done. I was there, and now I'm just going to be a whole hour early for my beginning of the day. And I got a giant coffee to try to caffeinate me for my 3 flights that day, and now all that was delayed. So you can understand my frustration and where I was coming from. So I decided to head to the airport anyways and started driving over there and try as slowly as possible to drink my coffee so that when I got to the airport in my gate and finally get on my plane, then the caffeine can hit and I can be caffeinated for the rest of the day. This day, yesterday was just kind of like, it was a good day, but some weird things happened, some not so amazing things happened. And then with this big thing happening, it kind of surprised me. So I'll tell you kind of the things that were going on. I have, right now it's 1:51, and our van time to go home today is at 2:40. So I do have about 50 minutes. So I'm going to try to squeeze all that in right now before my van. So regardless, we got on our first flight that was an hour delayed. And then when we get on board with the passengers, we find out there is another additional 30-minute delay. And that was due to air traffic control. So they were monitoring how many flights I believe could leave Denver at the time, and I believe it was due to weather, whether it was wind or whatnot. It wasn't particularly stormy looking outside, but even if you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. So I believe it was either weather up in the atmosphere or wind. So we were 30 minutes delayed on top. So total delay time is about 1 hour, 30 minutes so far. So we go to Vancouver. The flight was surprisingly smooth, and as far as service goes with passengers, even though we're delayed, sometimes it'll surprise you how nice passengers can be, which is always a great surprise. But I think what happens is, especially if it's a really long delay, passengers they've already tried to talk to someone, whether it's customer service, and figure it out. So by the time they finally get on board, they're usually just happy that they're going where they need to go. And they've probably had multiple discussions already with people. And so there's not as much questions left for the flight attendants. Everybody was calm, nice. The flight went on without a hitch. So we stayed on the plane and we turned around and came straight back to Denver with no time in between. As soon as those passengers got off and the plane was cleaned, boom, we were boarding again. I turn around and all of a sudden people are getting on the plane. So we boarded up, flew back. The second flight was even easier. The people were just as nice, if not nicer. And so the beginning of the day was really nice. So we landed in Denver. We were starting to catch up and make up some of that time by flying quickly and doing quick turnarounds. And so we boarded our last flight to Sacramento. We had about like an hour of time in between flights where we could get off and do stuff. So my crew and I went to the crew room for a little bit and sat and chit chat in Denver. And then we came back down very quickly after to get onto our next flight. So we get on our flight to Sacramento. So like I said earlier, I've never stayed at this particular hotel I'm at and in this area, and it is so cute. I did just go out for a little bit, and I'll show you some footage next of what the Old Town area looks like. It's very old Western themed. It almost has like a boardwalk feel where it's all wooden boardwalk, old towny shops, cowboy themed things, some eclectic costume shops and taverns and things along those lines. You can get ice cream, lemonade, the works. So that was really cute to see. It's also right next to a riverfront, the Old Town riverfront, which is really famous, and a big old train station too. So it seems like there's a lot of tourists out and about walking around, and it is really hot outside today. So I met up with my crew member and we went and grabbed some coffee. I got a matcha today, of course, and chit chat for a bit about all the stuff that was happening last night and this morning. And then now obviously I'm back in my hotel room because it just got too hot to walk around. So I went to bed last night, got to my room. We weren't really delayed, but one weird thing was one of our crew members who we were getting our room keys from the hotel front desk, and one of the front desk guys told her we weren't able to make room keys for everyone else, so I'm gonna have to manually let you into your room. So he went ahead and did that for her, and then we all went to sleep. I didn't really think that much of it. I thought it was kind of weird, so I asked if she wanted me to go with her, and she said, no, I'm good. So we went to our rooms and went to bed. I let myself sleep until about 11:30 this morning, maybe 11. And then I naturally woke up and checked my phone. So I had 32 text messages, and that's super weird for me. I hardly wake up to one most days. So most of it was from my group chat with my family, and they were all talking about how there was an IT type power outage. So my mom was telling us that her line of work has to do with financial things, and so she said that her computers, I think she said that they were affected. My brother, who works from home through the computer, said his were not. And I started getting a little worried because my mom was saying, oh, Danielle will definitely be affected. So I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what? Like, I don't even get it. I don't get what's going on. Let me check my work emails. So I open my work phone and I scroll and see about 10 emails from our company saying, update about IT outage, update about the outage, update. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we've never had this many emails about one event unless it was a meltdown. So that was a little concerning. So it looks like at my airline, which is one of the major airlines, they did ground some planes because they were not able to get weight and balance numbers inputted into the system. Weren't able to check customers into their flights because of the outage, and a few other minor things on top of that. So I believe planes were grounded last night for a certain time period. And then this morning, flights resumed early in the morning, but that's not without some cancellations and some major delays. So my boyfriend's mom is actually traveling right now, and her flight home got delayed as a result too. So she's stuck where she is, I believe, for an extra day. Flight attendants are getting stuck everywhere. I've already heard some stories about people being stranded in the airports. And again, this doesn't have to do with company specific. This is mostly due to the outstanding impact of this IT company's outage, which affected everyone. So yeah, I woke up and I'm really just trying to read news articles to get to the bottom of what is actually happening. And it looks like my flight home today, which is just one flight, Sacramento to Denver, is on time. Our plane landed last night around, it looks like 11 p.m. It's a different plane, but it landed last night, and it seems like it's on time. So let's hope it stays that way. I should probably check it one more time before we start getting ready to go. But it looks like at least my day has not been impacted, although I know tons of people are getting the bad end of things. So I'm sure I'll hear more stories in the next few days about people and how it impacted them. So I am a little nervous to even go to the airport and hear what has been happening. It's not the first time I've seen major flight disruptions in my career so far. I have been here, like I said, over 5 years at my company, which is the first airline and only airline I've ever worked for. So I've seen Christmas meltdowns from power outages. I've seen winter storm company meltdowns because of storms. I've seen a lot across every airline. And one thing that I want to share and have outsiders who aren't in the industry know is that these kind of things rarely only ever impact one airline. And when a passenger is flying a specific airline on one of these days where something bad happens, they tend to always blame the company that's flying them. And seeing things within the past 5 years and hearing stories of people that have been here 5 times longer than me, you kind of need to know that all that companies take turns experiencing things that happen. It's never ever only one airline that does something good or bad. We all take turns getting negativity one way or the other. So if you have strong opinions about what your favorite airline is and what your least favorite is, then I'm not here to discount that. But just know that stuff like this, it's just gonna happen. This is the day and age we live in. Technology influences everything we do, and it's kind of sad, but this is how our society is going to be. This is how flights have to operate, is being really reliant on technology these days. So that's where we live in, and we just make the best of it. So I'm going to carry on my day and start packing things up. Most of my stuff is already packed up, ready to go. Maybe have some of my strawberries I packed as a snack, maybe watch a few episodes of Netflix, since these hotel TVs have the little Netflix on it, which is really cool. And hopefully have a pleasant, easy, safe, straightforward way home. Last thing I will kind of close things out with here is just by saying thank you to everyone that's flying. Thank you for flying, period, and being there so that I can do my job. I've seen throughout the pandemic, people completely stop flying, come back again, and it's always wonderful to see full planes, even though it can be stressful for flight attendants at times. It is ultimately something that I'm thankful to the universe that people want to fly again and are flying more than ever. So thank you for being here. Sorry in advance for anything that is going to happen in your travel plans. Please do what the flight attendants do and just be like a palm tree and just sway with the wind and float with it, because travel these days requires some degree of flexibility, of course. It's almost like know that something is going to go wrong at some point, whether it's major or minor. Have a backup plan, or at least start thinking of a backup plan before you start traveling, and hopefully nothing does end up happening. But I'm here to help people. As long as I get the good energy from you, I'll give good energy back. It is a two-way street, and we are all trying to get where we need to go. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. But that's my little experience of where I've been during this little debacle. I've just been holed up in my little room in Sacramento. But thankfully things have been easy for me today. I am so sorry if you're a flight attendant watching and something did happen to your flights. I've already heard some terrible stories of flight attendants getting stuck places. And I've been there and I've done that, and I know how awful it can feel when you're tired and you're stuck somewhere. So I hope everyone has a better day today. Flights should catch up within the next few days. As far as recovery goes, whenever something's happened like this in the past, where some major flight disruption has happened, especially if it's fixable and the problem has been fixed, usually it takes no more than a few days to get people back onto the next flight where they need to be, rebook them, ship the crews out to where they need to be. So within the next 2 days, I'm assuming most people are going to be back on track. Hopefully everyone, but you know how it goes. Most people will be back on track. So that's my prediction. And I hope that everyone across every airline is doing better today and got some rest and gets home safely. If there's anything crazy that happens, keep an eye out for updates from me. You can turn your notifications on if you choose. Regardless, I know a lot of my watchers are not subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate that, trying to grow my channel. So subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you need to do. If you were stuck anywhere or you were traveling or have any experiences of people you know traveling, post them in the comments and I would love to respond and chit chat about all the crazy stuff that's happening. So let me know and we'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.